I'm Chandler Smith. I'm here to talk to you about the Sri Lankan Civil War that terrorized and killed thousands for more than 20 years. When Sri Lanka got its independence from the United Kingdom in 1948, the United National Political Party was formed and it gained power, led by a Solomon SWRD Bandaranaike. He promoted Sinhalese culture and extended state control over the economy. His assassination by a Buddhist monk, yes, you heard me right, a Buddhist monk, occurred in 1959, ending his reign as prime minister. He was replaced by his widow, Sirima Bandaranaike. From the 1950s, tension between the Tamils and the Sinhalese grew. In 1956, Sinhalese was made the only official language instead of both Tamil and Sinhalese. Mrs. Bandaranaike also deported many Indian Tamil laborers. She was prime minister until 1965. She continued the policy of nationalization. She also brought most schools under the state control. In 1965, she was replaced by Dudley Senanayake, who was prime minister until 1970. In 1971, a rebellion of young people led by an anti-Tamil organization called the Janatha Vimuki Peramuna was formed. The rebellion was quickly crushed. In 1972, Sri Lanka was given a new constitution to make the Tamils and the Sinhalese happy. This one stated that Buddhism had a foremost place among Sri Lankan religions. This was very unpopular with most people, and many followers of other religions. Furthermore, in 1972, the number of Tamil places at the university was reduced. And once again, in 1972, the name of the country was officially changed from Ceylon to Sri Lanka. In 1976, the Tamil United Liberation Front was formed. They demanded a separate Tamil state. In 1977, Sri Lanka was rocked by ethnic riots in which 128 people died. Yet another constitution was introduced in 1978. This one made president the head of state. However, this did not satisfy the Tamils, as there was no reason for it to satisfy them. In 1983, civil war broke out between Tamils and Sinhalese. On the 23rd of July, 1983, the Tamil separatists ambushed and killed 13 Sinhalese soldiers. The result was rioting in which hundreds of people died. Afterwards, the Tamils fought a guerrilla warfare against the Sinhalese government. Now to Neil, who will give you the rest of the story.
Thank you, Chandler, for that intriguing introduction. But that's all it was, an introduction. Now we get our hands dirty. India was drawn into the crisis in 1987 when they agreed to send a peacekeeping force to the north and east of Sri Lanka. However, fighting soon broke out between the Indian forces and the Tamil Tigers, a guerrilla army. The Indian peacekeeping force withdrew in 1990, and fighting between the Tamils and Sinhalese began again. Meanwhile, in the late 1980s, Mao's Janatha Vimuki Peramuna led a violent campaign in the south. It was crushed in 1989 and 1990. In 1993, President Premadasa was assassinated. From the mid-1990s, efforts were made to end the fighting. A ceasefire was made in February 2002 and talks were held. However, the ceasefire broke down and fighting resumed. The war ended in 2009 with the defeat of the Tamil Tigers by the Sri Lankan government. Despite the bloodshed, some progress was made in Sri Lanka. In 1986, Sri Lanka was self-sufficient in rice. Life expectancy increased from 50 in 1948 to 69 in 1983. From 1977, the Sri Lankan government adopted a market economy. Sri Lanka still produces tea, rubber, and coconuts, and the textile industry is growing. Tourism has now become a major industry. Although Sri Lanka is still a poor country, it has great potential. Today, the population of Sri Lanka is 20 million. Thank you.